Sound check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, hello and welcome back to another vlog. I'm in the Shakespeare North again. One of my favourite places in Prescot, just to hang out here. And I just sort of like end up talking to myself in a little chair. I've just had a lovely cheese and onion sandwich with coleslaw. And that's a nice cup of coffee. It's nice in the mornings to be here. Well, it's about midday now because I've been vlogging this morning. So I've done, this will be my third vlog of the day. So they're coming in thick and fast now. I've got time on my hands to clear the backlog of vlogs that I should have done months ago. I just haven't had the time. So, yeah, I thought I'd sort of elaborate on what I was talking about in the last chat that we had here about history, basically, and about people who live in the past. There have been certain comments, not many of them, on YouTube and on Born and Raised in Prescot about, you know, you're living in the past, or you want to get, you know, all that's in the past, it's gone, it's done with now, yeah, everything's all, you know, stuff like that, you know. It's just silly comments, really, because if people say that, they don't understand what the past is and what living in the past actually means. So I think I'll clear it up with a little chat. Well, it's a chat to myself, really, but I hope you're watching it, and it might it might clear up some confusion as to what the past is. Ian Foster, in his very famous book and excellent film of 1971 with Julie Christie and Alan Bates. People may remember that film, The Go-Between. Started the film and the book with the past is a foreign country. They do things differently there. Well, that's so true. The past is like a foreign country, and they certainly do things differently there. And the truth of the matter is that you cannot live in the past. We can't live in the past. We can't go back in time, can we? None of us. None of us can physically live in the past, because the reality of the situation is the past doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. And also, on the same note, the future isn't here yet. I'm forever quoting that to Catherine, saying the future isn't here yet, and the truth is the future will never be here, and the past will never be here. We have relics of the past, we have photographs of the past, but we can't actually go back in time, and that's true. It's very true, we can't go back in time. But we can touch things that were made in the past, objects, if you like, and our museums and galleries are full of objects that were made in the past. And we seem to have almost a spiritual affinity with them objects and things. We almost like want to reach out and touch them. And as if by touching them, or even seeing them sometimes, makes you feel like you're going back in time. It's that feeling of going back in time. But of course, we all know, and the sun's shining that, we all know that we can't actually literally go back in time. Nobody can. Unless we travel at the speed of light, maybe we can invent a time machine to go back. Maybe in the future we may be able to go back. I don't know. I doubt it, though. I don't think the laws of physics would allow us to go back. So we can't live in the past, but we can reminisce about the past and we can relive the past through old photographs, through old films, through stories, through books, things like that. Give us a sense of the past, what it was like back then, but we can never know. We can never know. Historians, I've been called an historian. I don't consider myself to be an historian. I'm really a person who's interested in history and remembers a lot of stuff about history. So I try to convey it as best as I can. But I'm certainly not living in the past, and I'm certainly not going back in time. I'm not a time traveller. But there is a theory to say that we may just be time travellers. Have you ever thought about that? I remember when I was in my teens, I was very much interested in philosophy and stuff, and I went to one of these philosophical meetings, where people meet and talk about philosophy. And one of the subjects was, are we reluctant time travellers? Are we time travellers? Is the human body a time capsule that we live in? So what I mean by that is that we were born, I was born in 1958, and I've lived through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now the 20s, 20,000s. So I've lived through all them decades. So does that make me a time traveller because I remember the past? I vividly remember bits of the past, but I don't remember all of it. And am I travelling through time and space? I suppose I am. Does that make me a time traveller? Does that make you a time traveller? Well, maybe we are. And maybe our grandparents were time travellers. So all this, and their parents and their grandparents were time travellers also. And we get stories passed down through time that transcends time, I suppose. Them stories and the written word transcends time. So these stories through books and pictures and artifacts come passed down to us. And, a thing like Born and Raised in Prescot and this YouTube channel conveys all them little time capsules of events and times and places. But one person's memory and one person's view of the past is different than another person's view. And then another person's view may have it totally different. And even the people who wrote the history books could tell a different story. And there are so many different stories about the past. You can have one single event of the past, and you can have as many different views of that past as there are people on planet Earth, because everyone will have a different view. No one will have a clear and concise view. And that's because we live through different experiences. Our memories are different. So the past is filtered through memory, and it's filtered through voices of the past. But we certainly get a feeling of how things were and how things could have been, which is great, isn't it? And sometimes thinking about it like that gives a bit and a sense of comfort to us. It does to me. I think, if you think of yourself as time traveller, and you don't always get things right, and neither do historians. We don't always get things right. And we kind of, we get our facts and figures mixed up, and we get our times and dates and events all jumbled up sometimes, and not, we don't come up with the right answers. And I've been as criticised for that as anybody else has. And all the historians who've ever written and done stuff in Prescot have the same problem with history. History is a creative science, and by that I mean it's not an exact science. It's kind of subjective to the person's, first of all, the knowledge and person's education of past events. So here's to William Shakespeare. Here's to you always coming to the Theatre North and enjoying the ambience that it has here. And I hope to see you in a future vlog. If you've liked this, then please do all the stuff, all the gubbins you need to do on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and watch the videos, watch the adverts, because the channel is monetized, and by watching the adverts and keeping watching the videos to the very end, by the way, you are supporting the channel, and which are at no cost to you, and helping me make more videos like this and keep my spirits up, you know, and especially, you know, when I'm questioning what the flipping point is. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another vlog. I'll leave you with some scenes of the Shakespeare North. Thanks for watching.
Touch the harp gently, my pretty Louise, pretty Louise, pretty Louise, just to accompany the hum of the cheese. Touch the harp gently, my pretty Louise. On my wedding night, oh, I did feel so shy. I sat in a chair and I cast down my eye. It's 2 in the morning, my Archibald said. You can sit up all night, dear, but I'm going to bed. Oh. So. Touch the harp gently, my pretty Louise, pretty Louise, pretty Louise. If I'm asleep, don't wake me if you please. Touch the harp gently.